Good morning, everyone, all T friends around the world, and all non-T friends around the world. First of all, wish you all a very pleasant Sunday. We are in a magical season at this moment. It's time to give ourselves some reflections. First, I'm going to apologize to those friends who spend a lot of time and energy to fight for the equality between genders or religions or whatever. Those people who fought very hard for the equality. First of all, I want to say I really respect your efforts and your devotion. In the meantime, I'm going to apologize myself first for what I'm going to say afterward. I'm going to put on the raincoat first. Why I want to apologize? Because I know a lot of people want to say men and women are equal, or women and men are equal, whatever you put a sequence. Let's face it, when the world's created, we don't care who created it, but when we were created on this planet, to this world, genders has never been equaled 100% for sake. However, I do support and I do think in our social justice system, we have to fight for the equal standards, one standards for all mankind, regardless genders, regardless religions, regardless color of the skin, that equality has to exist in social system and in the justice system. Let's face it, democracy started from Europe and now is widely spread and preached by the Americans to the world. What is the practice of equality today based on what we have heard and see from all the media coverage in the recent years? Then we start to question what kind of equality we're talking about. When George Floyd, the black people today, actively calling for Black Lives Matters, not only in the States but also in the world, I do understand the frustrations and the pain. But I think what we have to endorse is all lives matter. Not just black, not just the different colors. As a matter of fact, all lives matters. All lives, regardless genders, regardless age, regardless religions, regardless ethnic group or the language we speak. We should learn to respect each other as human to human being. Many years ago, when I gave a management coaching program for a senior student from University in Antwerp, I really love to work with young people. The topic was about the cross-cultural communication. So when I started, I asked those young kids, those lovely future stars in the future generations, what did they see when I first came into the classroom? Some people say, Professor? I said, no. Chinese? I said, no. Woman? I said, no. A very nice guy? Nice woman? I said, that comes close. I said, now close your eyes. Take off the visions, the memory of your visions. Put yourself in the silent area that you don't hear anything. And you don't smell very well. So you don't sense the flavor from the person who walked into the room. When the door opened, you know someone's walking into the room. I said, Ask yourself in your heart, what did you see? What do you think you see? And those kids opened their eyes, said, a human being. I said, that is the essence in the cross-cultural communications. We have to learn to respect each other as human being to human being, heart to heart. Yes, in the process of negotiation, everybody tries to gain the most. But at the end, the meaning of negotiation is to try to build a bridge for future cooperation, but not to burn the bridge down. So when women and a lot of people, so-called human rights activists and gender activists, equality activists, they were calling it equal and to fight against those people against them or disagree with them completely. Let me ask you, do you try to understand the point of view from the other person as well before you start to against them? Why I say the life has never been equal? Because the men born have more force than women. But men as strong as a wood tree, with a strong body, with a strong root. But they can fail, they can break easily in a typhoon or hurricane. A bamboo, very tiny, very thin, not very big, not as big as a tree. Don't have the leaves from single bamboo as much as the tree can offer. So they are already unequal, right? But the bamboo, even in the strongest wind, they lean and yield, is hard to break. You can cut down the tree, took off the root of the tree easily. But it is very difficult to get rid of all the root connections underground between bamboos. A mountain is very tall. But as long as you want, you can move the mountains away. You can destroy a mountain by piece, taking away. But the flow of water, the water is very soft. But the flow of water is hard to break. In the place where I lived before I divorced, there is a place every year when it comes to the rainy season, they're always flooding. Always. Then I asked my ex-husband, I said, why that place, that particular place, always flooding every time it comes to heavy raining? And then his uncle said, oh, that place is, before the house, the farm was built in the neighborhood, there was a creek, there was a little river, and that is the place where all the rivers passing through. So the water has memory, they're always coming back. So they're never able to block the water flow when it comes to the flooding period. So never think that you're strong enough and that you are better than the others. Because don't forget, 刚毅者, the harder you are, the easy you can be broken. 柔易, 柔难断. That means the soft and gentle, yielding, seems very soft, but it actually is very elegant. So elegancy is coming from inside. Willingness to follow the flow of the energy. So often you saw the news about how how the trees was falling down because of hurricane. Even the roof was fall on the surface, but you hardly hear the news or report that there was a bamboo fall down on the ground and died from it. That is the difference between the masculine and the feminist. So at the beginning, it was already unequal, but somehow the nature created the ecosystem. That is the justice, equality we need in the justice system to respect the differences. When I, in the process of handling the family dilemma situations, with the help of local police and also the social workers, even the legal social workers, and then I realized that in Belgium, in the middle of Europe, you know that a lot of legal systems are still following the the middle age hasn't changed that much. Gender equality, unfortunately, still is not in the good balance yet in our legal system. That is the reason why I support your efforts. I really appreciate your efforts to fight for the justice, equality in the justice system, in the social support system. But when it comes to social support system, we have to understand, before we demand equality, we have to show our respect to the other side of the differences. Otherwise, we lost the right to talk about equality. In the life, when this is not equal, okay, but don't forget, in the men, strong men, no matter how strong the image they like to project to the outside, they still have a very fragile heart. They still love to have attention, caring, understanding. They still have a little woman in their heart. On the other side, powerless women like we, even we are powerless. We don't have the muscles. But the strength that we are able to deal with this stressful change often is stronger than men, because we are willing to yield. Our willingness become our biggest strength to support us not bending down. So at the end, every woman, every woman's heart, even they are very fragile, very elegant, very soft, very powerless, but don't forget, they still have a very, very stubborn heart. Said, I don't give in easily. I'm willing to yield, I'm willing to bend, but you cannot break me. So in every woman, there is a little heart with the capacity to be assertive, for self-confidence, but not in an aggressive way. And if you think about these two sides, we need each other. That is yin and yang. Without the combination of these, there's no way to generate any life. Even in the nature, even the flowers, they need contrast energy to bind them, to forge them together, to create beautiful life again. So when we fight for equality, does not mean we need to fight. No, we need to enhance and build and strengthen the process for dialogue. 男主外女主内. That was ancient teaching from the Confucius. That means it's okay for men handling the outside, the women master the inside. But do you know who was the boss in Chinese culture? Who is the real boss in the family? Not the father, not the husband. It's the wife, the mother. So never underestimate your role, what you can do to yourself, to your family, to your society. Never underestimate and never overestimate as well. Because we need each other. You can call me naive. You can call me I'm innocent, dreamer. Yes, I am. But I truly believe all religions speak about love. And love must have a heart in the middle to take care of both sides first. Otherwise, that is not love. Only desires, only impulsiveness that going to lead you into troubles. So in this epidemic period, many of us have more time to think, to plan for the future actions. So stay safe in the good health.